Congratulations on getting through Unit 1. Now we are going on to Unit 2, and you are getting older by the second. Unit 2, Lesson 6, we are going to be understanding division with fractions. So, as you'll see right here on this very first page, this is going to be the main part of understanding how to divide fractions. So when you're dividing fractions, you're going to leave the first number, the first fraction, change the division sign to a multiplication sign, and then turn over the second fraction. So 1/2 divided by 1/6 turns into 1/2 times 6, or 6/1. Looking at the notes. Alright, so what does it mean to divide by a fraction? You know how to divide a whole number by a unit fraction. For example, you can think of 6 divided by 1/4 as how many 1/4 are there in 6. Using a number line, you can divide 6 into fourths and count to see there are 24 fourths in 6. So, as they have done right here, for each whole number, there are 4 parts to the whole number. So there are 24 fourths in 6 wholes. You also learn that dividing a number by a fraction is the same as multiplying the number by the reciprocal of the fraction. So 6 divided by 1/4 is the same as 6 times 4. And this is how this is the same as if you would go back to the very first page. This would be leave, change the sign, and then flip it, which is 4/1 or 4, and that's 24, which is how they got the answer. Okay, think. What does dividing a whole number by a fraction mean? Madison cuts a 6-yard length of ribbon into 3/4 yard pieces. To figure out how many pieces Madison cut, think, how many 3/4 are in 6? You can draw the same number line to represent the 6 yards of ribbon and divide it into fourths. So you guys are going to have to get pretty good at drawing these because you're going to be doing it quite a bit. You can circle 3 1/4 sections. Sorry, I got the hiccups this morning. Sections to represent 3/4 yard pieces. You can see there are 8 3/4 yard pieces in 6 yards. So if we have 6 divided by 3/4, look what they did down here. This is the thing I really want you to understand. If you have 6 divided by 3/4, it's the same as 6 times the reciprocal, which is 4/3, and then you just multiply straight across. So this is the same as 6/1 times 4/3, which equals 6 times 4 straight. You're just going to multiply straight across. It's 24, and then 1 times 3 is 3. Well, 24 divided by 3 is 8, and that's how they got their answer. Okay, but get really familiar with these right here because you're going to be required to do them. So they've split each whole number, and there's 6 of them. See, 6 whole numbers into sections of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's in the 1. So get familiar with how they do that because you are going to be doing that quite a bit. Now on 53, think. What does dividing a fraction by a whole number mean? Corey wants to pour 3/4 of a quart of juice equally into 6 glasses. This means he needs to divide 3/4 into 6 equal parts. You can represent the problem with an aerial model. First, you can show the 3/4 quart of juice, which is what they did in this very first one. There is the 3/4 quarts of juice. Then you can draw the vertical lines to divide the model into 6 equal parts. So they did the 3/4 juice and then split that up into 6 parts right here to get the entire model. So again, 3/4 divided by 6 is the same as 3/4 leave change, and that is 1 over 6 because 6 is the same as 6 over 1. So that would flip and become 1 over 6, multiply straight across, 3/24. And that you will also have to reduce the fraction and go to 1/8, which is what they did right here. 3/4 quart of juice divided equally into 6 glasses means Corey will pour 3/24 or 1/8 quart of juice into each glass. 3/4 divided by 6 is the same as 3/4 times 1/6. Corey pours 1/6 of 3/4 quarts of juice into each glass. Reflect. So now use the number line to show and explain why 4/10 divided by 2 and 4/10 times 1/2 both equal 2/10. Okay, it's going to have to do with, this is divided up into, I believe, 10 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So this is divided up into 10 equal parts. And from 0 to 6, but these all stand for tenths, so this would be 2/10, 4/10, so on and so forth. But all you need to know is this and this. So a possible explanation might be, you can think of 4/10 divided by 2 as dividing 4/10 into 2 equal parts. This is the same as finding 1/2 of 4/10 because each half is one of the equal parts. So we're just going to write that in.
You done recording?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. I'm just writing it in.